Folks, I saw this particular picture, and I just had to make this particular video. President Donald Trump thinks that he is a king and can issue decrees that have to be followed unquestionably and cannot be reviewed. Well, the judicial system this week made him look like a jackass's ass, okay? Not only did the district court stop his ban on Muslims, and that's what it was a ban on Muslims. And by the way, that judge was a Republican president, I believe it was Bush, appointment. Donald Trump then went on to appeal that decision to the Court of Appeals in the Ninth Circuit, which is, again, the most liberal circuit in the country. There are more Democratic appointees to that particular court than Republican. And there was a 3-judge panel, 2 democratically appointed, and 1 Republican appointment that took the emergency stay under consideration. That is this emergency stay on the ban against Muslims. And then Mr. Jackass decided that he was going to attack the credibility of all of the judges, including the Republican judge. Well, Thursday, the judges came back with a ruling whether the temporary restraining order would either be lifted or allowed to remain in place. And guess what? The ban was allowed to remain in place, and the vote was 3-0. So that pretty much made Mr. Trump look like a horse's ass, and the former acting attorney general, in my mind, was vindicated. Now, knowing Donald Trump and listening to his responses, Mr. Bravado stated that he was not going to stop, that he was going to take this to the next level. The next level being the Supreme Court. Now, apparently there are some people in his administration that are politically savvy and have brains, because they more than likely told Mr. Trump that if he did that, he at the most was going to get a tie and more than likely lose. And if he lost, there would be no appeal of a Supreme Court decision. So, instead of immediately seeking to be addressed by the Supreme Court, there has been a change of direction, although Mr. Trump will not admit it. What's now going to happen is they are going to wait. They are going to wait for at least a week, and then Mr. Trump is going to vacate or invalidate his executive order regarding the Muslim ban and rewrite or issue a new executive order that will pass judicial muster. He is going to do it the right way. They are going to draft something. They are going to run it past everybody, including Congress, to make sure that everybody has buy-in, and then they are going to issue the order. That's going to be done next week. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, they are also going to wait for another court, and thus far there have been 3 courts in the various districts. I take that back. There have been 7 court challenges in the various districts. And the only court that has sided with Donald Trump was the court in Boston. And their siding with Mr. Trump was on an extremely limited basis. They didn't side with Mr. Trump on the validity of the overall ban, just on a small piece. So the people that went into court to challenge the ban decided, since they got the overall nationwide ban, they wouldn't fight that particular portion. But the overall ban that was upheld by the 9th District overrode the agreement that the Boston court gave him. So now they are going to wait until they can get another court that makes a broader ruling that is in agreement with them, which obviously will be challenged by the ACLU, CARE, etc. And with that ruling in hand, go to the Supreme Court to try to overturn the stay on the ban. And if it is, as suggested, a 4-4 tie, that ruling by the Supreme Court will override the ruling by the Court of Appeals in the 9th District, and he would, in effect, get his way. But that isn't the only thing that makes Mr. Trump look like a horse's ass. You see this picture of Kellyanne Conway on Fox News? Well, Kellyanne apparently thought that she had the same rights and privileges of Mr. Trump as far as his not being subject to ethics violations. And Miss Conway decided that she was going to take up the defense of Ivanka Trump, as did Mr. Trump. Now, the jury, in my opinion, isn't out, but in a lot of people's minds, the jury is out on Mr. Trump's tweets regarding Nordstrom's and them removing the line that has the name of his daughter. But Kellyanne decided that she was going to take it one step further. She decided that she was going to give Ivanka's clothing line a plug. And specifically, she said, with the background of the seal for the White House, that she was going to give Ivanka a free commercial. And then she said that everybody should go out and buy Ivanka's merchandise, and that she was going to go out and buy Ivanka's merchandise. Well, it doesn't get any clearer than that one as far as the violation of the laws. And the House Committee on Ethics and Oversight, chaired by Jason Chaffetz, and the ranking member is Elijah Cummings. Well, I shouldn't even say they. Mr. Cummings issued a letter regarding the violation of ethics addressed to the White House, and Mr. Chaffetz, who is the chairman, basically had no choice but to sign on to the letter. it couldn't get any clearer than that Kellyanne Conway violated the ethics laws. Well, yesterday, Sean Spicer was asked a question regarding the violation of ethics by Kellyanne Conway. And his response was that she has been counseled, and that's all that he or the White House was prepared to say about it. Well, it may possibly have died there, but Mr. Trump just couldn't let that one go. So he in turn tweeted out that he was pissed off at Sean Spicer for making it seem like Kellyanne Conway had been chastised, and that he had the utmost confidence in her, etc., etc., etc. Well, we are going to need to see exactly what went down, because when you get a letter from the House Oversight Committee regarding an ethics violation by one of your staff, and you are asked what you're going to do about it, that one you can't ignore. That one you have to answer. So we will see what the response is from Mr. Trump. But that's not even the best one. This is the one that's going to burn some people's asses. And in particular, it's probably going to burn Michael Flynn's ass. Before Michael Flynn was named the Director of National Intelligence, this picture had surfaced. And if you're not familiar with the main people that are in this picture, the picture of the gentleman on the left with his hand to his ear is Michael Flynn. The picture of the gentleman directly to his left is Vladimir Putin. Michael Flynn, as a private citizen, was taking money from the Russian government. And that piece has been fleshed out a bit, but not as much as it could be. Well, when Donald Trump became the president-elect, Mr. Michael Flynn had conversations with the ambassador from Russia. And at first, he said it was innocent, merely Christmas wishes, greetings, etc., etc., etc. And then it got fleshed out that there were more than just Christmas greetings exchanged. And what put a spotlight on this situation was that on the same day that President Obama issued the sanctions against Russia for interfering in our elections, Mr. Flynn had a conversation. And if you know anything about Russia, if anything is done to them, they react in kind. They're a lot like Donald Trump. You hit me, I'm going to hit you back. And in a lot of cases, I'm going to hit you harder than you hit me. So when President Obama kicked out those Russian diplomats and closed down a couple of Russian facilities in Washington, D.C. and New York, not embassies now, just facilities that they used, the expected response was that Vladimir was going to kick out a bunch of American diplomats and shut down facilities that were controlled by the American diplomats. But for some reason, he didn't do it. And people were shaking their heads as to why. Well, now it's come out, and various news organizations have confirmed through confidential sources that Mr. Flynn had a conversation with the Russian diplomat where he apparently told him just to hang on, and that when Mr. Trump came into office, that he would take care of those sanctions. Now, Vice President Pence, before all of this went down, as far as him being named the Director of National Intelligence, which is not a congressionally vetted position, Mr. Pence apparently asked him what went down in those conversations. And Mr. Flynn apparently lied to Vice President Pence and told them it was nothing out of the ordinary. Well, apparently, those confidential sources that got leaked out to the various news organizations have indicated that there are, excuse me, audio tapes of the conversation between the Russian ambassador and Mr. Flynn. And that is well within the realm of possibility as far as foreign dignitaries being bugged, both here in the United States and obviously overseas in Russia. Everybody is basically bugged. But I guess our bugging was better than their counter-bugging measures, because there are audio tapes of the conversation. And now, all of a sudden, Mr. Flynn can't recall exactly what was discussed. This is going to turn into a big one, because you know damn well the FBI is investigating, and they're probably the ones, if not them, more another intelligence agency. I don't want to say the CIA, but more than likely the CIA. Somebody's got audio tapes on this guy, and they are going to blow this to high heaven once they complete what we know is the investigation of this guy. So, Mr. Trump, you had what some would say regarding your cabinet an excellent week. You got Betsy DeVos confirmed. You got Ben Carson, I believe he was confirmed. You got Price confirmed. You got the Secretary of State position confirmed. You got the Secretary of Transportation confirmed. You got a bunch of people confirmed. There's very few people left to be confirmed. But on the flip side, a bunch of these people, headed by Mr. Flynn, are going to blow up in your face. Flynn's going to blow up because he lied and violated the laws of this country. And the particular law is you cannot talk to a foreign government about policies of the United States that and make statements that are in direct opposition to the policies of the United States. And I forget the name of the exact law, but it's definitely out there. Betsy DeVos is going to blow up in your face because she doesn't know jack shit about public education. Tillerson may be okay. I'm not really sure where his loyalties lie. And they probably lie with the United States if it's has anything to do with if it doesn't have anything to do with oil and Exxon. So he's probably going to be okay. But again, I'm going to leave the jury out on him. We're still waiting for Mnuchin from Treasury to be confirmed. We're still waiting for the Secretary of Labor, who Wild, who is waiting for the head of the EPA to be confirmed, and this guy hates the EPA and wants to shut it down. There's still, several that basically are unqualified for the positions. So next week is coming. I guess we're going to see exactly what's going to happen. But Mr. Flynn, I got a funny feeling that your days are numbered. Now, I'm adding this one as an aside. Steve Bannon, after Mr. Trump took that first loss with the district court in Washington, went on, of all things, the Facebook page of Breitbart and did a Facebook Live interview on Breitbart. Now, he hasn't done that with anybody else, so he decides his first actual public interview is going to be done on Breitbart. Folks, if there's any doubt that this guy isn't a white supremacist, that one was the one that really should cinch it for you. He didn't pick Fox News, which is Republican headquarters. He didn't pick CNN, which is obvious. Trump's got an issue with CNN. He didn't go on MSNBC with Greta Van Susteren, and she's known as a right-wing leaning person. No, he decides he's going to go on Breitbart, which he himself has acknowledged is an alt-right, i.e. white supremacist organization. And if you do any research on him, this guy is all for the destruction of governments everywhere, and he's also an Islamophobe, and believes that we and Russia, and I did say we and Russia, should get together and destroy anybody who practices the religion of Islam. So anyway, that's my little icing on the cake on this particular video. You guys enjoy. And please, if you don't mind, give this and all the videos that I produce a like if you like them, share them if you like them, and subscribe if you so choose to do so.